Hi there everyone, I hope that you are all doing well and that you had a wonderful weekend. I know that the energies of the solstice have been a bit crazy and heavy for a lot of people, so I'm hoping that there has been some kind of shift for you and that you're going to see some improvement in the coming weeks. Alright, so if you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And my name's Shireen, and what we do on a Monday is we do a reading for the week ahead and to see what's going to come up for us and what kind of energies we're dealing with, what kind of obstacles we may face, and what we can do about that. All right, so I try my best to offer some guidance for you and to help you on your path towards dealing with it, overcoming it, recovering from it, whatever it is that you need in your life at that time. Okay, so for those that are returning, you will see that I'm trying something new this week. We're trying a different angle with the camera, which I think is going to be better. It's going to give me a bit more space to work with and hopefully be a little bit more interesting for you guys. All right, we're using 3 decks today. I'm using the Energy Oracle. You see? Okay, just checking if you can see. And then I'm using the Earth Magic Oracle as well. It's a little bit of a squeeze. And I'm going to be using the Witch's Garden Tarot. Okay. So if the lighting's not great today, or I can't squeeze everything in the frame today, please forgive me. I don't think it's imperative that you can see every single card or that it's not cut off at the edges. I think the messages are more important, and that's also something that I've been... Sorry, I've just seen that one is the wrong way around. That's also something that I've been aware of, and I've thought, you know what, it doesn't matter if a corner of the card is cut off or something. The message is what is important here. So that's what we're going to focus on, because that's what you're here for, isn't it? I'm also going to be considering in the future doing readings for the star signs, the astrological signs. I'm going to see how I'm going to do that. But just to maybe give you some guidance for the week, I would like to try and fit those in at some point. Okay, so let's see where we start. I'd like to see what energies we're dealing with. This one's got different energies, different elements that come through, as in earth elements, and usually this can be quite helpful for us. Okay, so what do we need to know for the week ahead, please? If you can give us whatever energies we're dealing with or anything that we need to know or focus on. There we go. Childhood, innocence. This is super interesting for me. Okay, here we go with our first test. I think it's my fish tank that's causing that nonsense. There we go. Innocence, childhood. There is a lot of inner child stuff that's happening. I had a wonderful and very interesting experience myself this past week, where I was shown certain things that need to be healed. I had a presence that presented itself to me, and I felt that it was very safe and good, and I said, what do you want to show me? And I was actually taken back to my childhood home and shown a few things and shown myself as a young child. And it was a wonderful, beautiful, transformative experience. So you might be seeing things like that, or having a dream about when you were young, or meeting someone from when you were young. A lot of the time this happens. A lot of the time we are dealing with things from our childhood that come up that need healing. So just see what comes up there, because that's very interesting that that's the first one to come up. And it's about innocence. I feel like we also need to remember that there were a lot of things when we were young that were not our fault, that we could not have control over. And I need to finish saying that because they haven't given me one card. This is about self-healing, self-love, and self-forgiveness. All right, and I feel like that's a huge, important part of this process at the moment for us. That there are things in your life that you might hold against yourself, or you think, why haven't I done this, or why haven't I developed this strength of will, or whatever it is. See if maybe perhaps some of those things are not your own doing, and things that it's not to say we blame somebody else for it, but so we don't hold it against us. If you didn't have something provided for you and it's caused a health issue or a nervous condition or whatever, we can take charge to heal that, but we can't take ownership for that. Some things were just not our responsibility. When you're young and you're a child, you're supposed to have someone looking after you. You're supposed to have someone who's a caregiver. You're supposed to have someone to support you and teach you and help you. And if those things are missing, that's not something you need to beat yourself up about. It's certainly something you can work on. It's not something that you need to hold a grudge for. Maybe you also need to forgive something else that's happened in your life. And like I always say, forgiveness doesn't mean that you forget what that person did or what they did was right. You're just choosing to let go of that heaviness, to carry that heavy burden. Okay, you're choosing to let go of the heavy burden. What else do we need to know this week, please? Here we go. Effortless. Okay. How this came through to me, for instance, as an example, that was effortless. I didn't have to do anything. Okay, it was presented to me. The energy came to me and said, basically, there's something here I want to show you. And I was open and receptive to it, and it was effortless. I saw what I needed to see. I had whatever emotional moment that is going to maybe potentially be a catalyst for healing, but it didn't require any effort of me. And I feel like a lot of us have been doing so much work. We've been doing the work for a long time. And now is the time for Spirit to come into our lives and say, okay, I'm going to now bring the shifts for all the work you've been doing. And I feel like that applies to if you've been really working hard to start a business or get off the ground and get your abundance to where you want it to be, or if you've really been trying to work through and release something. These things are now getting to a point where Spirit says, okay, you've been doing the work, you've been working so hard. We're going to now just put in the last piece of the puzzle, or the last component, and switch on the machine, and things are going to start moving now. This is what this feels like for me. The water also reminds us that water moves effortlessly, and as much as it is very powerful and it can be a dynamo of energy, and it can wash things away and it can destroy, it can also bring healing, and it can be very transformative, and it flows. And the minute we flow with life, that is when we are able to fit into different little areas and try new things. And, just like you see this waterfall here going down the rocks, it's effortless for it to just go in whatever way the rocks allow it to. It just flows wherever it sees the opportunity. It's like the water just flows where there is a way for it to flow. It doesn't try to force itself in anywhere. Yes, it can, absolutely. We have waterfalls, we have mudslides, we have all kinds of things that water can create. But in this case, it just flows to the path of least resistance. And this is what I feel like this means. It's like there doesn't have to be any resistance. It needs to be effortless, and you just need to go with the flow. Go where life is leading you. If something is showing you a particular direction, and it's not exactly the way that you perhaps thought it should be, or the vision you had for it, maybe they're trying to nudge you in a direction that would be better for you than where you are, or maybe better than the initial plan you had. Okay, can I please see what else goes with this? What else do we need to know for this week ahead? What energies are we dealing with? Ooh, here there comes a whole bunch. Let's do it. Summer solstice. No kidding. For those in the northern hemisphere, this is exactly what you've just had now this past Saturday, and what is still busy happening. The solstice kind of has an effect for a while, and it's radiance. I feel like this is certain things coming to light. This is us tapping into our own radiance. And yes, it might just be at its beginning stages, but it's certainly happening. Allow your soul and your heart and your life to grow with the sun as summer approaches and as the days get warmer. Allow your days to get warmer in all kinds of ways and open yourself up to that. I really feel like you don't have to do too much this week. It's just like being open and receptive to it is going to be the key. Let's see what else we got. Compassion. This is for yourself and others, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the reading. have a heart-to-heart with somebody. Maybe show compassion in a situation where you haven't before. Maybe you need to show compassion for yourself for whatever those things were that happened in your childhood. Think of how you can appropriate this and apply it to your life now. Okay, and wake-up call. Okay. This I have seen happening in certain people's lives, and it's coming in weird and wonderful ways. Sometimes it's literally a wake-up call to say to you, you have been too soft. You have been a walkover for somebody. They've been trampling on you, and now's the time for you to stop that. And maybe something really intense and epic needs to happen for that to happen for you. All right? It might still be coming. And someone might just do something or say something that makes you realize where you really stand with them. Or maybe you just need to get motivated with something. Or maybe you have that epiphany about what you're taking ownership for that's not really yours to carry. Okay, this is very, very healing and transformative, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, and I'm loving that all my cards fit in here. Okay, I'm just going to double check if there's anything else. Oh, hold on. That's the bottom of the deck. That's what they're telling me to do. And it's release. Autumnal equinox. Okay, so this doesn't have to be necessarily the phase that we're in, but this is release. This is about letting go. Okay, these trees are literally releasing their leaves. And they release the leaves. They don't worry about, oh, I can't let these leaves go because what if I never get any other leaves? They understand the nature of things. And the nature of things is to change. The nature of nature is to change. And that's what brings transformation. What's going to happen now is the leaves are going to fall to the ground, and those leaves serve a purpose. And they insulate the ground so that when winter comes, the little seedlings and things are protected, and the little animals have somewhere to hide, and it provides a blanket of warmth for them. And it lets a little bit of winter sun, at least, like you can see even in this picture, to come through the trees so that they do have some sunshine and warmth, as opposed to the whole place being cold and then the trees also creating more shade, which would freeze some little animals and things to death. So they know they need to release those leaves, and they know that if they do, when spring comes, they will have these beautiful, lush, green little sprouts that will come up, and there will be a new beginning, and there will be new leaves. And we need to trust that. We need to be willing to let go what no longer serves us. All right, that sounds like that's almost like your whole reading. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we got. I just want to see if there's anything. I'll use the tarot for clarifiers if we need. But today feels like Oracle card day. I'm just going to give it one more shuffle. Okay, I want to ask, is there anything that goes with this childhood or innocence card, please? Anything to go with that? What goes with the childhood and innocence? Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. All right. So I feel as if that means that there's something that needs to be cleared in the throat. That means that there needs to maybe be some communication, or that there will be some communication. I feel like there's 2 or 3 people, or a group of people that need to discuss something. And I feel like that needs to be out in the open. If you have been wanting to express yourself or held something in for a long time, like you've kept a secret or something that is you feel ashamed of. I'm not talking about keeping other people's secrets. I'm not saying you have to go and blurt out other people's secrets. I actually feel the total opposite. But I do feel that there might be something that needs to be expressed, and it might be something that's been held in for a very, very long time. And when we ask Archangel Gabriel for help, that is going to bring those results. And this is already letting you know that that presence is around. And what we need to do with spirit is to acknowledge that they're already there, and they're always waiting for us to just speak to them. It's not a case of, where have you been? You don't support me, unless we've actually asked. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's how it works. They don't interfere with you without your permission. But this is standing there ready to help you. Okay, so maybe you need to do some work on your throat chakra. I do energy sessions for chakras if anybody needs that. Negativity purging, whatever it feels that you need. But the throat chakra is very much coming into focus at the moment. And Wednesday is the new moon in Cancer, which is all about emotional stuff like this. You know, Cancer energy is very much about the depth of our emotions, feeling deeply, feeling compassion. That's what this is all about. Compassion, empathy, love, forgiveness. It's certainly the theme. Even if you don't believe in angels, it's saying this energy is around you, okay, and you can tap into it. That's what it is. It's a consciousness. Okay, anything that goes with waterfall, please, or the effortless card? Yep, okay. Door to value, okay. This is what's effortless, is your door to value, whether that's valuing yourself or what you place value on in your life. This is opening you up to different types of abundance, and that abundance is also abundance of love, abundance of strength, abundance of maybe self-forgiveness that you need. Whatever it is, whatever needs to open up, you need to open up and be receptive. This is saying this door to value is opening for you. So for some, this will be literal abundance. It could maybe only be in its beginning stages once again, but there could be some kind of stability that comes from this. And it's very interesting because if we're looking at things to do with childhood and innocence, a lot of the time our abundance is directly related to our relationship with our mother or our father, or mother or father figure in our lives. And if those are unbalanced, it affects how abundant we think the world is and how we see the world, whether we feel it is expansive and giving or not. And it also affects how receptive we are. So if we refuse to accept, or we're not in that effortless kind of flow, that directly affects our abundance. So maybe there is some kind of childhood trauma or something that needs healing here, or you need to just forgive yourself for holding on to it and thinking it was your fault, whatever the case is. And that's going to open your door to value in many ways. And when I say it affects your abundance, and it can literally affect your flow of money and what you're experiencing in your life, because your receptivity or your view of how abundant the world is has been skewed or blocked in some way. Okay, you can do that. You can heal that through looking at the dynamics of that relationship as well. You can do a mother or father healing readings that will say, you know, what was this person here to show me? I actually used this deck of cards for that reading. What are they here to show me? What still needs to be healed in that connection, and what can I do about it? And they don't even still have to be on this earth for you to do that exercise and see what you need to do, or what mindset shift you need to perhaps have in order for things to shift for you. But again, I don't feel like that might necessarily be the case, that it's necessary at this time, because I feel like this is effortless. This is just something that's going to organically happen. Okay. Oh, there we go. Radiance. The sun. No jokes. Wow, Spirit is on point today and speaking very, very clearly. The sun. And that's literally what goes with summer solstice. So I don't know how much more clear they could be about that. Oh, let me just get it right here, sure. Maybe if I hold the top for you. There we go. That is lovely. And this is literally also about abundance and inspiration. When we let Spirit into our life, it's much easier to work from inspiration. It's much easier to do artistic and creative things, because artistic and creative things are in alignment with Spirit. That is our spiritual side. That's using other parts of our brain that we don't use when we're just being very, very practical. And look what else we have here. This for someone could mean that there's a romantic connection coming in. Or it could just be someone who's really loving and helpful and supportive. It does look like it could be a masculine energy, but that's not necessarily the case always. Okay, just because it says man holding a heart doesn't mean it has to be a man. But it's showing that there's somebody here that can be loving and compassionate and helpful. And it's often in a family dynamic or something like this. It could be someone that's helping with home life, with children, being supportive. Maybe you're trying to study and someone comes into your life that's going to be wonderful and give you the time you need to want to study. And maybe you have children and this person's going to be a wonderful father figure, and you get to actually do your studies and get where you want to be because this person is loving and nurturing and is wanting to be at home looking after these children that are such a blessing. This could play out in a million different ways. That's just an example. It could be a new romantic connection that comes into your life. Okay, this could be someone who literally comes in a romantic capacity. And again, it doesn't just have to be a man. If you're a man, it could be a woman, vice versa, whatever your preferences in life are. It doesn't matter. But this is showing that there's a loving, supportive person that can come into your life now and be helpful. And this is about overcoming something that's been difficult in your life. So maybe even the stuff that's happened when you were younger was an obstacle to you being in a healthy relationship. Because this is also, the sun is a card number 1. This is new beginnings and fresh starts. And the 6 of the man holding the heart is overcoming obstacles. I feel like the solstice has been so important in bringing shifts. And it's like, I'm in the southern hemisphere, so for me it's not the summer solstice but the winter solstice. But I still feel like the sun is shining upon people and it's bringing light to certain situations and subjects, and things are shifting. Okay, and this full moon coming up the new moon coming up is going to be very important. Okay, that's on Wednesday, so just be mindful of that. All right, what goes with this love and compassion? I think he was the love and compassion. We literally have the sun matching up. I've just realized this. I think they spat out 2 cards at me at once. So we had the 2 suns in those 2 cards, and we have the 2 hearts. This compassion, this love. Look at that wonderful, beautiful energy. The door to abundance and to value is opening up for you. But I feel like self-compassion and self-forgiveness is a huge key here as well. There we go. How these match up. Beautiful. This door to value is going to be effortless. That's what they're trying to tell us. It really is. These match up beautifully. I love it when this happens. Okay. So, can I please see, what is this wake-up call about? Can you tell us more about the tsunami or the wake-up call, please? What's this tsunami or wake-up call about? I just want to see. It's flipped some cards over. I want to see if I feel that they are relevant. I don't. Okay. These 2 speak to each other, actually, because it's the envy card and the appreciation card. So, if we are not in a place of appreciation, we are in a place of envy, or we're in a place of lack. And that's what we need to deal with or to work on. And the wake-up call card, I think that's what we're going to have a realization about. I feel we're going to have a realization about where we actually have been feeling this lack, because this talks about this woman being, adorned in silver, and she's got all of these, she's got a tray full of pearls, and she's got a pearl in her hand, and she's got a life of value already, but she doesn't see it. I'm going to read from the book for you, actually, with these 2. She already has a life of value, but she's looking at the golden castle because her silver castle's not good enough. And I feel like that's something that is really a disservice that we do to ourselves when we get into that place. And the other woman is the complete opposite. She's standing amongst all these thorns, and she's appreciating this beautiful rose that's there. She's focusing on the positives. She's focusing on what she does have and what she does have to be grateful for, particularly as well. Okay, let's see. This is what this wake-up call is going to be. It's like, I actually am in a place of blessings and appreciation. I'm sorry, I have a little nephew here who's being rather noisy. Okay, so hopefully someone will resolve that situation for me soon. Okay, so let's see. We're going to read from the book. Appreciation, choosing gratitude. This card shows a woman holding a single rose. She enjoys the scent and beauty of the single blossom. Yet around and behind her are bramble bushes. She could be focusing on these, worried that she might get caught up in their prickly branches of difficulty. Instead, she's pausing to experience the blessing of the single flower. The sun is breaking through the clouds, shining on her choice and on the tiny buds waiting to open up. This card upright is telling you that you have much to be grateful for, and, like the flowering bush behind the woman on the card, there's more to come that you cannot see. Congratulate yourself for every moment that you choose appreciation. This decision shifts your consciousness from lack to value, and it's guaranteed to bring more worth and richness of life to you. Okay. There's an affirmation, and it says, I choose to see and appreciate the beauty and value around me. I increase my gratitude every day, and I'm attracting even more to be grateful for. Okay, let's see the envy card. A lot of you have heard these before because you do my 6-month ahead readings with me, and then I usually use this deck of cards and read from the book. Okay, envy. Lack or dissatisfaction. This card shows a woman holding a huge pearl in one hand and a platter of coins and pearls in the other. She stands in a silver room looking out at a golden city on the horizon. She has a life of value already, but she ignores that and longs for the shining prosperity she sees elsewhere. Instead of feeling happy and fulfilled, her desire for more only causes a deep sense of lack and dissatisfaction, and that energy shows in her dress. This card upright is telling you to let go of the jealousy and acknowledge the blessings you already have in your life. Now is the time to shift your focus. After all, when you envy others, it only attracts more to them, not to you. Notice all that you have and thank the universe for it. If this card is near the appreciation card in your spread, the message is doubly important. Now is the time to move from a consciousness of lack to one of value. With this shift, all things change. Wow, today's a powerful reading. I've got goosebumps from head to toe now. This is so important. This can literally change your life. And I don't make claims like that easily. This is the synchronistic way in which the cards have come up like this and how powerful this is. I've never actually had to read that part of the book because I never get these two together. Okay, so it's saying if this card has come up with the appreciation card, this is doubly important. If you can do that shift and you can have that wake-up call, everything's going to change. This is what's going to help. If you can release what no longer serves you, mentally, emotionally, physically, resentment, anger, frustration, unforgiveness, whatever it is, you're going to do yourself a bigger favor than you could ever do by just letting go and not holding on to that memory or that resentment for that person or that thing or what you feel you missed out on or what people owe you or what the universe owes you. Get yourself into a different mindset and you're going to see major, major shifts. I'm just going to double check if there's anything that goes with the release card, but I think it's release the envy. Archangel Michael just popped up. We're going to take it. This is your root chakra. This is directly related to relationships, abundance, money, houses, cars, things. This is bringing grounding and stability that you maybe haven't felt that you've had for a long time. This is blessings in your physical 3D. Archangel Michael also is there to help and help to protect us, and he gives us courage and strength when we need it. Okay, so don't think that this wake-up call is going to be a bad thing for you. I'm actually not going to use the tarot because I don't think that I need any clarification on anything, and I'm just going to ask if there's anything else from this deck of cards. Is there anything else as a last message for us, please? Or for anyone in particular? Is there anything for anybody who's going to be watching this video? Okay. Rest and rejuvenation. This can be a very heavy time for a lot of people, and I actually do personally know people that desperately need rest and rejuvenation. I've just had the flu myself because I needed rest and rejuvenation. And I've got some people close to me and some clients that I know that desperately need this. listen to the message, please. If you really want this to work, do what Spirit's guiding you to do. We can't complain about it later if they gave us the tools and we decided not to use them. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Okay, so this is your sacral chakra, all right? It's just behind your navel area. This governs our relationships once again. It governs our relationships to all kinds of things, people, even to food, if you haven't had an imbalance with things like that. It governs the reproductive system, but it also governs our fear and things that we feel afraid of. So if we work on this, it can give us the courage that we need. And remember that Archangel Michael can help with that as well. I will read this one from the book as a last card. And then the Goddess of the Moon. Goddess of the Moon, what did I just say? Cancerian energy, the new moon on Wednesday. Getting in touch with your emotions. And very much this is about follow your intuition. Listen to Spirit. Listen to the gut instincts. They come through your sacral chakra. When we have an intuitive feeling, we often feel a gut feeling. You know, your gut instincts. Your gut will tell you something's wrong or something's right, and you'll often feel it around that area. Your stomach will turn, or you'll feel a sinking sensation. If it's something good, you'll get butterflies, and you'll feel very happy. This is part of you learning how to use your intuition, okay? And Goddess of the Moon says that, and it's about, I mean, look how she's trying to direct her energy. And it's like Spirit can direct you and show you the way if you just tap into your intuition, as opposed to just tapping into our very superficial fear-based emotions or what's happening in the physical 3D. Feel how it feels. Feel if you must move forward with something. Feel what Spirit's trying to tell you. Feel if something's wrong. Learn to feel and tap into those other elements, because that's what truly guides us, and that's when our lives really go a lot more smoothly. Okay, I'm going to read this last one and then I'm going to leave you with that thought. Let's see what the second chakra says. Excuse me. Intimacy and creativity. The second chakra vibrates in the energy of the beautiful angel Ariel. She sends a bright orange energy, promoting inspired creativity and greater comfort with intimacy. When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. This is what this was saying too. Look at the creativity there. There's even an easel and a paintbrush and the instruments and all kinds of things giving birth to something, okay? When this card appears upright, it's urging you to get creative. Let yourself reach out into unexplored areas of self-expression, which is your throat chakra, okay? And new projects that may have a more creative approach. This is also a time when the energies of closeness with others and nurturing yourself can flow more freely. You can now open yourself to the emotional intimacy that may be coming your way. So nurture yourself and be ready to receive the affection and camaraderie of resonant souls around you. Okay, this could open you up to a relationship if you had childhood trauma and you've been afraid of intimacy, and it can also go deeper than that. Okay, whatever that means for you. And I leave you with the affirmation. My second chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I am creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle waves of intimacy coming my way. And with that, I wish you a beautiful week ahead. I send you lots of love and thank you for taking the time to be here. Bye for now.